Run Tonight is one of my favorite songs on the project, and I think that's because it's a sound that I have been wanting to write for a long time. I think I've tried a lot of times, and this was the first time where it was like, we got it. It's got that 80s Springsteen Tunnel of Love era thing to it. This one really revolved around the track. I built the track and had a couple lines when I sent it to you for the first verse, and kind of a direction of where to go with it. But it came pretty quick once you got in there with it.
It's such an odd song, but it's such a cool song.
Yeah.
You know, I think that even the Hey Hey Lie, I think when you said that, it was just a filler.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Yeah.
And it works, you know.
Yeah. A couple days before I started this song, you had sent me a lyric for a different song we were talking about that had something like Hellfire out or Heaven in the Headlights with Hellfire out the back. And I was just trying to fill in the gap. So I just threw Hellfire at the back with Heaven in the Headlights into my filler chorus, and it actually worked really well with where we ended up going with it. But I don't want to be the one to, steal your thunder on this, but like your GTO that you have. Talk about that for a minute.
So that's been a really interesting thing for me with what we've done. Me and my grandpa restored a 1967 Pontiac GTO together when I was a kid, and he was a hot rodder in the 60s and early 70s, street racer, and I just grew up adoring his stories.
Mm-hmm.
And just hanging out, I would just tell you about these stories,
right.
and you bought into it and loved it, and the GTO kind of became the symbolism for us of this born to run muscle car era, this rebellion. What's more American than a Pontiac rumbling down Route 66 playing rock and roll?
Right.
And that's really special to me. And so when I remember, you said, "Baby, I still got that two-door rocket."
Yeah.
Well, I'm bought in at that point.
Yeah, right. And I think that's the cool thing for me is like I've never even seen the GTO in person. Like I've heard stories about it, sent me pictures and audio clips of it rumbling and stuff. And I'm not a car guy like that, but to me it's just such a cool kind of symbol of this American rock that we make.
And the funny thing is, it talks about, let the neighbors know we're still alive, and I don't think it was long after that I got the car out one night. My neighbor was screaming at me, for waking his kids up.
It's one of my favorite on the record just because it's just a sound I've just been chasing, and I'm so glad we finally got it.
You knocked it out of the park.
Thanks, dude.